And we are back on the WHHI-TV Daily News. Well, as we head into an election year, a lot of voters across the country are a little bit disgruntled with their choices, including right here in South Carolina. In fact, 18 counties, including Beaufort, have now organized what is being called the Forward Party. Joining me now is Chuck Newton, and he is the chairperson of the Beaufort County Forward Party. Thank you for being here today, Chuck.
Good morning. How are you?
So let's talk a little bit about why this party has been organized. I know people are kind of, like I said, they're a little bit disgruntled. More people than ever are identifying as an independent voter. What is this party hoping to address?
Well, I think the central thing the Forward Party is focused on right now is electoral reform. So much of the dissatisfaction with the way politics is being handled has to do with the way candidates are selected.
Right.
Basically, in a two-party system, with 10% of the Democrats selecting the candidate on one end and 10% of the Republicans selecting their candidate on the other, we in the middle are left with often two bad choices. And I think that's what people are reacting to.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And so you're hoping that the Forward Party might be a home for those voters. What is your focus as you start to form the organization? I know you're not going to be involved with the presidential election this time around. Focus a little more locally. Tell us about what it is you're trying to do this time.
Well, electoral reform requires, you have to understand the legislature is in charge. So electoral reform really means that we have to get people elected at the local level and empowered to effectively get those changes made. There is a House bill that's been submitted. I believe it's House Bill 4022, which would deal with which would give localities the option of going with ranked choice voting. And we hope to get a hearing on that this year in Columbia.
Well, and tell us a little bit about exactly what that terminology means.
Well, ranked choice voting, despite some people saying it's confusing, is really pretty simple. It's basically, if you have hypothetically 5 candidates, it's the first one to gain 51% of the votes. As you count the votes, you select the first 4, and then you're able to rank your votes in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 choices. Okay. So we gather all the first choices together, and then throw out the bottom one, and just keep going until a candidate is selected. Okay. And that candidate typically will be a consensus candidate just by the nature of the process.
Okay, very interesting. And I think also one of the things you already mentioned primaries. So one of the other focuses is going to be open primaries. Talk to us about what that process would look like.
Well, for all intents and purposes, we do have open primaries here in South Carolina. So that's not much of an issue here. Okay. In other states, you have to be registered as a Republican, and you can only vote in a Republican primary. You cannot change your selection at the polling place, for example. So other states have a little bit greater challenge, I think, than we do here in South Carolina. But a third thing that we're focused on, and a really critical one, is independent redistricting. Okay. And you've seen in the news, North Carolina, Arkansas, Alabama are all in the middle of redistricting battles because either the Republicans or the Democrats that control the legislature get to set the rules. Right. What we'd like to see is an independent redistricting commissions drawn from the community without political ties, who are able to set those political districts. We just think that's a much fairer system.
Right. And so I know that there's 5 of you on the committee moving to organize the Forward Party. How can people get more information from you, or if they're interested, maybe in joining or being a volunteer? Talk to us a little bit about the organization itself.
Well, they can simply go to the website, which is South Carolina, spell it out, southcarolinaforwardparty.com. You can click on a link there, send us an email, and we'll get back to you with more information and contact you and tell you how you can be involved. It's as simple as that. We've got We've got several thousand people signed up already. We're hoping to attract more. This is a long-term process.
Sure.
This is not something that's going to happen overnight, kind of a thing. But nothing worth having, is worth doing quickly.
Right. Well, Chuck, thank you so much for being here to share about this very fascinating topic. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time.